Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. So first things first, sorry about the sound quality. I am in a new room. There is quite a lot of echoing and distortion. The microphone is new, and everything has to be optimized, but that takes a while. Everybody that makes videos and does sound recording knows what I'm talking about. So then we come to the plane and also to a poll I made on Twitter and asking you guys, what do you think, should I make this video or not? It is about a very good result in the American premium jet fighter, the F-89D. If you don't know this plane, there are pretty much three things that you have to know. First of all, this is the most expensive plane in War Thunder that you can buy for Golden Eagles, because before you have to buy the F-89B to unlock this one. How much exactly I don't quite remember, but it is quite expensive to get to this plane, if you don't count for stuff that is on the marketplace. Also, we have a very similar situation with the Calliope and the M26T99, also in the American tech tree. The second thing that you need to know about this plane is that it's very unique, that it is the only plane so far in the game that has as its primary armament proximity fuse rockets, and you have 104 of them in the tip of the wing pylons, which are very big, as you can see. And the third thing is the community hates this plane, not because of how it performs at the moment, but how it performed when it was introduced. And where do I stand with this? Is it even worth showing? Does anybody want to see this plane even? Yeah, that's the problem, because the people hate this stuff, and the responsible for it is not me. It's not the people who bought this. Yeah, well, to a certain degree they are, but the people that are really responsible for what this plane is and what it stands for are the devs, because they designed it and they put it at an initial battle rating of 7.3, where it had crazy good performance and was just straightforward ruffle stomping everything. It just, with its engine power, outperformed anything. You couldn't really catch it if it was played in the hands of a good, decent player. And on top of this, well, those rockets were really unique. You could just spam them in head-ons, and then they would do this to enemy planes. And they are pretty cool to watch. And I love the plane for it. Now it has been nerfed in two things. First, the battle rating has been increased to 7.7, where it results in significantly also more up tiers rather than down tiers, which it experienced back at 7.3. And also, I think the engines got a bit weaker. I'm not 100% sure about this, but it feels significantly slower. And not just because the main opposition is now significantly more dangerous. You see more and more air-to-air missiles, you see more and more planes that are just faster in any way, shape or form, and with better energy retention, etc. So you have your fair share of problems in the meta today. And on top of this, people have got used to this plane. They know to not take head-ons, they know to dodge it and to get it into a turn fight, because it's pretty sluggish. And some planes and some players, you just can't help, they just don't pay attention. Then this plane is pretty fun. Now, what remains is the hate. What remains is the legacy that the early introduction delivered to this plane. And I think that it has to work against this reputation for quite a while. But a lot of people have already cursed this plane. They already think that when they see this plane, oh, it's pure cancer. And I completely understand. And my first video on this thing kind of made a little bit of a prediction that it would end up now where it is, that it will get nerfed, that the battle rating will be raised, and what you're left with at the end of the day is the hate from your opposition. And I have never received so many negative calling out in chat, calling me names, etc. Now I can shrug it off, but it's just an experience to see it every day. if you kill people in certain vehicles, it's entirely your fault, and oh my god, I'm so disappointed in seeing that, etc., etc., etc. So, why to talk about this plane? Because at the end of the day, what remains is the bill of the most expensive Golden Eagle plane in War Thunder, and the hate. The hate will remain for quite a long time, I predict. And it doesn't really matter where the plane is now. The damage is done. The people that initially were really suffering from this plane, imagine being an Me-262 barely taking off the runway and having a repair bill of 15, 20,000 civilians, and you can't do absolutely against this plane, and not just in one, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 battles. How long are you taking the fight before you give up, before you feel just the unfairness, the meta against you? Some people took a break from War Thunder because of this plane. Some people outright quit playing it because they were fed up with all the small and big problems of War Thunder, and that was then the final stroke that broke the camel's back. So again, it is not the first plane, ship, tank that does this to the game, and it will not be the last. And the community in such a way is to blame, as it is not there to speak against this with one voice, because the community just sets itself together from people from all around the world, from different nationalities, from different ages, with different sets of experiences and desires, right? There are those stupid people that just want to see Gaijin finally delivering a fixed, playable, fun game, and where they don't want to see overpowered premiums, people like me. And then there are the people that just don't mind opening their wallets and throwing it at Gaijin to just get the next best meta dictator, which this plane was when it got introduced. At patch actually later, when it then got its proximity rockets, just to make this call here correctly, because at first nobody saw the point of it, right? The thing, what I want to say is, you can either hate the player for playing it, or you can just blame the responsible people for actually introducing it. And what I criticize about Gaijin is that Gaijin is just seeing War Thunder as a big cow that has to be milked. And they are ready to throw everything and the kitchen sink at the player base to make this work. War Thunder is a grinding machine, not for the player to beat the grind, but the grind being designed to beat the players. There are those people that just don't care about top tier, that are not collectors, that just are there on a daily basis playing with their friends and having fun, and bless them. I'd wish I could be one of them. But 7.5 years of playing War Thunder just made me a different player in that aspect. I'm a notorious collector. I'm just furious when I can't get all of it, right? And for that I still have to grind civilians and the vehicles. And I just observed that it's gotten more and more difficult to get to the top tier. I think the moment that we're in, War Thunder has never been so expensive than it is right now. Never has it been so difficult to get everything. What a beautiful snap, and what a desync, because replay. The thing is, this plane is just the peak of the iceberg, really. A little bit of a cut here, cut out the landing and the takeoff, and we're on our merry way to join the fight. I told the F-84D he should wait, and on my way to join the fight, an Me-262 comes my way, and watch this. Yeah, I think that looked beautiful. And this is what I love about the plane. It is unique. It's the only plane that has proximity fuse rockets. as its main weapons, right? There are so many unique planes in War Thunder, and I'd wish we could have such a plane as a tech tree plane, right? But then it probably would have repair prices of 20, 30, 40,000 civil lines. Because Gaijin just can't balance anything properly. Now, either they make this deliberately, to make overpowered premiums initially look so good, to make the sales, and after the initial big sales, milking the whales, milking the community in its entirety, they just kind of shuffle it around to make it a bit more balanced. And this is not a state where the plane is right now. And I've predicted this with my first video. And I was laughed off. And I was criticized. I get criticized for criticizing. I get criticized for not criticizing in every single video. When I rant, I get ranted on about ranting. When I just have my casual gameplay, then I get cursed because I don't rant. It's the internet. And I'm not complaining about this. I'm complaining about nothing. I'm just explaining what I think about this plane. And I think that the background footage just looks nicely. Now, I think that as a weapons platform, the plane is not that great, but the weapon it carries in the shape of the F-89B and this version, the F-89D, it's just really great. Either because of the proximity fuse rockets, or in the shape of the F-89B, the 6 high rate of fire revolver cannons, the 620mm, which are also pretty fun. But again, just can you imagine taking off from the runway as an Me-262, like when this plane was given its proximity fuse rockets, and you have a repair bill of 15, 20,000 civil lines, and you have absolutely no chance because your performance is so much worse. The question is, how long do you take this fight? The same goes about every plane, but just imagine, the Me-262, because of its high repair prices, because I think its overall capabilities are known. I think that this is an endless discussion, the endless wheel of poverty. If you're not the premium player, then you just are screwed. And if you are not willing to throw all the money at Gaijin, the grind is eternal. And trust me, I have, I guess, 99% of the stuff in War Thunder, and it gets so expensive recently. I made a little bit of an experiment. Since quite a while, I grinded a lot of top tier stuff, planes, tanks and ships, and I calculated it yesterday. I have 96 vehicles unlocked but not bought, and it would cost me 50 million silver lines to purchase them. 50 million. Yes, I have 146 million right now, but imagine if I would buy them, and if I would then put them into a crew and purchase the expert qualification, I literally would be broke. And people are always wondering why I hesitate to spend the silver lines while I'm still talking about grinding silver lines, and why I make such a big fuss about it. I'll tell you a little secret. My clan boss once had 170 million silver lines. And that is more than I ever had. 170 millions. And because he didn't really take care of his silver lines, he's now broke. He has less than a million. From 170 million silver lines to less than a single million. Can you imagine? And so here we are with this premium. And I always grind my silver lines. I always wait for discounts, and I also refuse to play planes, tanks and ships that cost more than 15,000 civil lines of repair cost. And at some point you have to understand, nothing is for forever. Especially the huge pile of civil lines that you just created, because the next few planes, tanks and ships, that would cost you dearly. So only as a collector to have them, right, that would be so expensive, it's incredible. Back to this plane, what does it mean? Well, I don't know. I think I can try out my Me-262 A1 now again, but not the one with the long-barreled MK103s, because battle rating increase. The game is not in a state where it's irrecoverable, but it's just now there to create money for Gaijin, and they happily sacrifice everything: balance, playability, fun, just to make the quick buck. And it's the same routine for every premium. Introduce it overpowered and then double nerf it, just to then get the player's desire to get the next premium when it gets introduced. And also, toggle between the nations. First you give an overpowered to this nation, then to the next one, and so forth. So you can continuously milk the entirety of the community. And it has never been different, and I think it only gets worse. And yeah, to be honest, we all know it. But in chat, I get cursed for playing this thing and playing the game the way Gaijin intends it. And that is the message of today's video. I didn't rant. I didn't really point at somebody specifically and said it's all their fault, because it is Gaijin pulling off this move, and then one half of the community is complaining, the other half is buying. And then the very next patch, rinse and repeat. And that is War Thunder, or rather the tragedy of War Thunder, the greatest game that ever has existed. 200,000 silver lines and 38,000 RP with a premium account, the premium status of the plane, but no booster. So it was a combination of the kills, the winning, and also I guess the landing. Yeah, what a great battle, what a great result. And I think that now this is a far more admirable result than it has been, I don't know, a few patches ago, where this plane was significantly more powerful versus its opposition. This plane is now significantly more accessible to be killed. It is no longer an I win button, but to be honest, it wasn't quite in the beginning as well. But it has lost the bite. But that doesn't mean it's teethless. And 7 kills in other than a biplane fight it's been quite a while since I got this result, so I'm quite happy about it, even though I achieved it with this plane. Now the next time you rant against something in War Thunder, think about who's truly responsible. At the end of the day, it's always Gaijin to blame, because it's literally their job. That's it for me today, so thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like with it, subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know your opinion in the comment section. Be assured that I read all the comments. And yeah, we'll see each other on the waves, on the battlefields, and in the skies of War Thunder.